What up, guys? Welcome back to another album review. Today we are going to be talking about the brand new collaborative project from rappers Nipsey Hussle and Bino Rideaux. This is the first full-length posthumous project from Nipsey Hussle since his passing in 2019. Nipsey Hussle is someone I looked up to a lot and still do. Just him being such a great man and having so much game and being so knowledgeable about business and, just the world as a whole. And there's a lot I think people can take from him and his story, and even like the whole thing about like stealing game. That's like something he was big on. He's like, yeah, if I see game, I'm gonna steal it, because you can never have enough education and enough, tips and tricks to try and, make your life better and be wiser and smarter. So I really look up to him a lot. And I think he's an amazing artist as well. So I'm very excited for this project. First track is Reckless featuring Static Major on production. Nipsey Hussle starts out this song with a really, really catchy, solid hook. Starts the track with the first verse, delivering a solid first verse, talking about kind of coming up and what his kind of come up looks like, and a very motivational first verse, talking about trials and tribulations and adversities he kind of was struggling with coming up in the game. And then Bino Rideaux comes through with a pretty nice performance accompanying Nipsey Hussle's hook in the second verse, and then Nipsey Hussle kind of finishes the track out. I really like this one. This is, I'd say, one of the more standout tracks from the project. This was also, I believe, the lead single to the project, so very solid track to start out, though, the project. And as far as production-wise, I think Static Major really did his thing on here as well. Next track is Sacrifices. On this track, they're kind of speaking on, like, the sacrifices they had to make coming up in the game, and it's kind of a very inspirational track. It's more of a laid-back feel to it, but it's not the greatest song I've ever heard, but it's not a bad record at all. But I would have liked a little bit more from them, especially production-wise. I think it's got a very basic beat to it, but again, I don't think Nipsey has really ever been known for, rapping on like super intricate beats, besides like the work he did with kind of Hit Boy right before his passing. But I don't know, I like this one, but it's not my favorite off the album. Next song is 500 Horses. Solid track. As far as like production wise, the beat is very heavy on these hi-hats. I like the beat on it. I think it's one of the better productions on the project, but as far as like subject matter and vocal performances, Bino Rideaux, I'm not quite a fan of in general. Like, his music's never been quite my personal style, but I really just did not like his, performance on this project, especially on this record. And then Nipsey came through with a good flow, but as far as subject matter, nothing we haven't quite heard from him in the past. Next song is Make Believe. On this record, Bino Rideaux takes control of that hook. Again, not quite a fan of him, just my own personal take. But Nipsey comes through with this more laid back, like really nonchalant, like delivery to his verse, where it's kind of like he's just speaking like he doesn't really care, but it's this laid back kind of delivery. A rapper that I think also kind of does this delivery sometimes is like Pusha T, or like Jay-Z even does this kind of delivery sometimes. This delivery that's very laid back and stripped back, but I think it really works, especially on this type of production. And overall, is this going to be a record I come back to? Probably not, but I did like Nipsey's verse on here at least. Next song is Count on You. Nipsey delivers a really, really good verse on this song. As far as like the overall whole song, I mean, it's a good song. Is it one of my favorites off the project? No, but Bino Redux actually has a pretty decent, verse on here as far as like I think it accompanies Nipsey's voice and the production well. But as far as like I don't know his voice, I mean I don't know. He's still not a fan of his voice. It's just me. I don't know, man. But I do think his hook really accompanies well the production on here and Nipsey's verses. So next song is Miami Off the Plane. On this one, again, kind of talking about that hustler lifestyle and grinding and making it, but about kind of what it's like, living this fast-paced lifestyle and having to, make some sacrifices here and there, and the struggles that come with your own personal relationships with people, with your girl, with the homies, But I like this song. It's different. It's definitely, I'd say, the song that's the most different on the project. As far as this song, I do somewhat like the production on here. It's different in the fact that it's got more of like this dance hall kind of island style production, similar like something from like Burna Boy or WizKid. But Nipsey's taking still kind of this more laid back approach and delivery to his verses. And then Bino Redux comes through with a hook. I mean, it's a catchy hook, but I'm just still not a fan of his voice, if I'm being honest. But I don't mind the song. Next track is Just Like Me featuring Buddy. Buddy, a longtime collaborator of Nipsey, so it's really cool to see him on this project. Overall, I do like this one. I think it's more of a sleeper track on the project, but Nipsey comes through, good verse. Bino Redux, again, not quite feeling it. Buddy, real good, solid performance. As far as subject matter, nothing we haven't heard from Nipsey or really Bino Redux or Buddy in the past, but it's a good song nonetheless. Next song is Super Real. On this one, Nipsey Hussle takes charge and control of the hook, and I really, really like this hook. It's nothing super crazy, but his delivery and his passion in the hook, I really fucking like, and he's just talking his shit on this record. Basically, he's talking about having a girl and him wanting her to like keep it real with him and always stay down for him, and I don't know, it's nothing like, mind-blowing, but the way just he delivers it is just so refreshing and just authentic. You can feel the authenticity within the words from him, and I think that's what really made him such a great artist, because I don't think was, the most lyrically diverse or, the craziest, fastest rapper or any of this stuff, but you knew he was authentic. You knew he was one of these fucking real guys out here. He wasn't, one of these fucking little boys running around acting or pretending. He was really about that life and really about being a good man and a real, pillar in his community. And you can tell by the way he moved, by the way he acted, by the way he spoke, and this record, I think, really encapsulates that. But yeah, just talking about a girl and him wanting her to, stay down for him and, just keep things real with him, even if he's not at his best or at his highest. And I think that's super dope to see. Bino Redux, as far as him on this song, pretty decent performance, but again, not personally a big fan of him. I am, but good song. Next track, Situations. On this one, they're talking about kind of everyday new shit going on, new situation, and just kind of trying to maneuver throughout the struggles in life, especially coming from where they're from. Good track though, but again, nothing we quite haven't heard from Nipsey in the past, but I like this song. And then Bino Redux has a decent performance as well, but I like this one. Next track is Vibe With Me featuring Leon Thomas. This is cool to see Leon Thomas on this track. I don't know as far as like how much of a relationship him and Nipsey had before he passed, but cool to see him here. love Leon Thomas as a person and his music. Super dope artist. But as far as this song, it's gonna be personally a pass for me. It's a little too slow. I don't know. I just don't get quite a good energy from this record. It's a little not quite my speed, a little too slow. But just kind of talking about, catching a vibe with a girl and staying down with her and what that kind of relationship looks like. And then Leon Thomas comes in at the back end to kind of give like a little bridge kind of outro to the record, which I don't mind, but it's nothing we haven't heard from him before. And I don't know, just the performances all kind of just felt a little slow and like boring for me. Next track is Mean It featuring Ty Dolla $ign. This is the first of 2 Ty Dolla $ign features on the record. I really like this one. I like Ty Dolla $ign's hook. It's pretty catchy. Nipsey comes through, solid verse. Bino Rideaux comes through, solid verse. But I think the standout of this is probably Ty Dolla $ign's performance on this record. But really good song. Next track is All Summer. On this one, Nipsey Hussle fucking kills it. Super dope hook. Not very complicated hook, but just comes with some really good energy and it's fun. Just talking about being outside all summer and kind of what that looks like and living the life and just talking to shit, just being prolific and talking about being, just kind of this figurehead and this mogul. And I don't know, I love that shit. But yeah, very good song. And Bino Rideaux actually comes through with a pretty solid verse on the back end of the track. Next song is I Just Wanna Know featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Cardi B. So I originally heard this record like 3 years ago, and it got leaked. But originally this was only Ty Dolla $ign, Cardi B, and Nipsey Hussle. And I want to know how this record came about. So I think this was originally just a Nipsey Hussle record, and I think they added Cardi B to it. I want to know if that was after his death or before. I could really see it either way. I'm not sure it's quite as that, but then obviously Bino Rideaux has been added to the song since then. His performance, alright. Cardi B has an okay verse. The song is basically just about kind of going to the club and getting like freaky with a fucking chick. It's okay. I mean, I understand Nipsey trying to do something different, but I'm not trying to really hear like that super vulgar fucking sex shit from him. Like same thing with like West Side Gun. West Side Gun has done that shit on a few records, and it's like not the artist you want to hear talking about sex and like fucking. But it's, I don't know, at least he delivers it well. But it's like so fucking just graphic. But like that's the shit you want to hear from like Usher, dude, or even like I don't know, maybe like a T-Pain or something. Like I don't want to hear, bro, like West Side Gun or Nipsey talking about fucking or sex. Like I don't know, but it's at least you can tell they put a lot of energy into the performances. And what's really cool about this song is this was also used as the intro to Do It off Vultures 1, so that's kind of cool because I originally thought after hearing that as the intro for Do It on Vultures 1, I was like, oh, this song's probably scrapped, especially with it being so old, but it's cool to see it finally made this album. Next song is Back to the Back, and this is the outro. Really good way to end out the album. I really like the production on this one. Again, nothing super crazy as far as production on this album. It's all quite the same and quite basic, but that's never been something that Nipsey's ever been like crazy with is his production choices. He's always made, I feel like, safer production choices, but production on here, the 808s slap on this one, and then Nipsey delivers a really good hook, really good verse, and then Bino Rideaux has that middle verse slot, which I think he slides into okay, but again, I'm not a personal fan. And then, I don't know, it just, as far as subject matter, just Nipsey talking to shit again, you know, just talking about living a life that's lavish, you know, being on jets, being in the back of the Maybach, you know, just rolling around town, rolling through his, you know, city. And I don't know, just good way to end out the album. Overall, how would I rate this album? Prolific. I mean, I was hyped for this album when I heard rumblings of it, you know, a few months back. And it's cool to see a collaborative, you know, posthumous album. I think this is one of the first ones we really kind of ever seen, besides like maybe like the Mobb Deep album, or like albums from groups where, you know, one member's died, but two solo artists coming together and one of them's not here anymore. I think it's cool, and hopefully this opens up the door for like other, you know, labels to see this. Like I'm still would love Slime World from Juice WRLD and Young Thug. They recorded, you know, like 10 or 11 songs, and all of them have pretty much leaked at this point. But I would love to see that project, or they can still, you know, may put some songs together that Young Thug might be able to hop on, because Juice WRLD's vault is just so immense. But that's a subject for another video. But yeah, that'd be cool to see eventually, especially seeing that kind of here. But as far as overall project, I'm gonna say my top 3 songs are All Summer, Reckless, and Super Real. And then as far as overall rating, I'm gonna give this album Prolific a 5 out of 10. I mean, was I expecting, you know, this album to be fucking mind-blowing, genre-bending, you know, break the fucking culture? No. And obviously, you know, Nipsey somewhat had a part in it, but a lot of this, you know, especially being like 7 years now after his passing, it's definitely, you know, hard to piece a project together. And we've gotten some good, you know, posthumous, you know, features here and there, like the song with Big Sean. He was on DJ Drama's album with a song with Blast, and I think Jeezy was on that record. And then he did that record for the Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack with Jay-Z as well, which was okay. But it's obviously a hard spot to be in, with Nipsey not being here. But for what it is, I'm definitely going to be listening to some of the records on here, you know, like All Summer or Super Real, or Back of the Back. Those are going to be in my rotation, I think, for a little while here. But it's not, you know, world-changing music, but it's still super dope to see, you know, new Nipsey Hussle music in 2026 and see a collaborative posthumous album. Especially, I think this is kind of a first. But that's all I got. If you guys have not yet, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check them out. Brand new book, The Simplicity, Complexity of Life, down in the description below. And until next time, peace out.